What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review for this week's episode of Persona 5 the Animation. And you guys know that this week was when Best Girl Futaba finally made her introduction, her true introduction. Yeah, she had that little cameo. She had her little appearance at the end of last week, and of course she had a little cameo, I think a few weeks back when we just saw her back at her computer monitor. But now this is when we really get to see Futaba in all of her glory. And it was fucking phenomenal. Now, I do have one problem with this episode: the art animation. Now, I wouldn't say it was terrible, but but there were some shots where I'm like, oh, come on, A1, y'all. I know y'all can do better than this. I would say at worst, the art animation episode was passable. At best, I say it was good. Nothing great or phenomenal, but passable at the very least for this week's episode. Anyway, so yeah, let us begin with this week's episode of Persona 5 the Animation with Best Girl 5 minute introduction. So let us begin. So it starts off with Futaba over there getting scared by Makoto being scared by Futaba. We see Futaba and she screams, she's like, ah! She runs up the stairs with her hands up. I was like, oh. Y'all know I love Futaba. And then you got Makoto hugging Akira's leg for dear life. He's like, I'm sorry, help me, sis, help me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, woman, it's just Futaba. Y'all you losing your shit like you just went through Nightmare on Elm Street or something. If Makoto gets this scared, I'm surprised she isn't shitting herself right now. If she's that scared, like, imagine, oh my god, I wonder what happens if you put The Grudge in front of this one. Sweet Jesus, she would probably die of a heart attack. Because, well, I don't think The Grudge or The Ring movies are scary. They were very creepy and could probably give Makoto a heart attack when she sees, Kayoko over there be like, she would probably let you just, have a heart attack. And I'm sure the Makoto shipper loved having Makoto hug Akira's leg for dear life. Anyway, so that part just had me dying right there. Then we got my man Sojiro. Being like, he opens the door, he's like, hey, what's wrong, Futaba? I was like, well, that's a damn good father right there. Immediately, springing out, he grabs the flash, the nearest flash, and it's like, who's there? And then just the crew, he looks at it, and then we got Makoto, like, oh, please, sis, I'm sorry, help me. I'm like, Makoto, come on, woman. Makoto's like, oh man, that was hilarious. And so then we got the crew in the back of the cafe. Sojiro's leaning against the bar, tapping his finger against the wood, and they're like, Makoto's like, oh, sorry, we kind of snuck in. There's just something we need to know. And then Akira's like, was that your daughter? And he says, well, not technically, it's adopted, or she's the daughter of an old acquaintance or friend. Now, so anyway, so then he pretty much explains better. Where we do get now here, they don't really. Now, one thing I was a little disappointed with is that they don't really delve into Futaba. Like, they don't show. He explains, of course, Futaba, her mother, and of course that she was a very hard worker. That she was definitely kind of like socially awkward, kind of a little bit like Futaba is when she does get her heart stolen. She does actually does become part of the family. You do see, even though she's see her working, but I wouldn't say her mom is as bad as Futaba, but they're still not the most sociable people. Kind of be like, I might act like a lot of kind of out there, kind of loud here in my videos, but if you meet me in real life, I'm honestly very quiet. Like, I could easily probably sneak up on you, or I'm definitely the type of person that you would like a Yato from Noragami. I hide in plain sight. You look at me and then you immediately forget me, pretty much. Like, that's how I am. I'm pretty much definitely a person that definitely keeps to myself. You guys saw my top 3 best girls list, top 3 best girls of last year that I did during the 12 days of anime. You guys know that I actually did say about how I am definitely not the most sociable of people. I'm not Futaba bad, but I'm not the one that usually instigates conversations. I usually wait for them to instigate with me most of the time. Anyway, which is probably one of the main reasons why I do love Futaba so much, is probably because I could relate to her a lot. Anyway, so she explains how she definitely that she was definitely a hard worker, very smart. That if she had her mind put to something, she could never she would not stop. She would just work on it until it's finished. And then she talks about how she died. I will say that even though I knew all this was going to happen, It was still heartbreaking to rewatch this whole part because like it was heartbreaking when I first saw Nikobe's Let's Play of the game, but rewatching here as the anime, even though I know this is all happening, it's still heartbreaking because I love Futaba and her whole character. Where we find out that she actually died from suicide. Jumped in front of a moving car, right in front of Futaba. Yep, Futaba saw it all. I think she was like 10 at the time when that happened, so yeah. She traumatized. So yeah, I mean that will mess up any child watching, seeing their mother die right in front of their face via suicide. Yeah, I do love that Persona 5 how dark it is. Like, even though it does have its light-hearted moments, this is like probably I've heard this is like the darkest out of all the Persona games, at least story-wise. I've never really played any of them. I've seen little bits and pieces of P4 and P3. I know Persona 2 straight up had Hitler in it. But yeah, I've heard this is the dark because it dealt with themes of sexual abuse. I almost don't want to say pedophilia, but sexual assault against minors, which I guess technically counts as pedophilia, but I wouldn't straight up go that far. Of course, suicide, and all that shit. And so she and now they don't. Now this was kind of disappointing because they did show off they have expand on certain events at the end before we saw Makoto when she got her panda pencil case or pencil bag. We saw a couple moments where we actually saw we saw some of the fucked up shit that Kamo Shithead did to Shiho. We saw him being a very we saw that he did, this man is fucked up and he needs to be stopped. We did see a couple moments of that. We also had one moment with Yusuke when he was with Madarame. But here, they don't show actually her actually getting pushed, or not pushed, where she threw herself into the moving car to commit suicide. They don't show us that. They did give us this one little shot of Futaba and her mother walking down the street. They gave us this one little shot. But I was kind of a little disappointed with that. I was hoping, granted, they could always show this off, stuff about Futaba past. No, sorry, because to any of you anime onlys, I'm gonna let you go a little serious. That's gonna happen later on. Serious. Futaba and her mom serve a very important and pivotal part of the storyline in the second half. I'm not gonna go into details on what exactly that is. Y'all gonna have to wait to see because and also another thing. In the second half, shit's gonna go down in the second half of P5. The shit's gonna go down this series in the second half, which I'm looking forward to seeing. So they could very well show us more parts of Futaba's past later on, which I do hope they do because, like I said, Futaba, but great, if they were going to really expand, because I feel like Futaba's backstory alone, expand on details, and I could probably fit a whole episode, in all honesty, and I would so watch and probably love it. But yeah, so they don't really show us that. They don't really show us Futaba's mother actually getting hit by the truck, getting carbon grad. They probably couldn't show it if they wanted to because censors. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do it because they just straight up couldn't because of the censors. The game didn't show it off either, in case you're wondering. At least not to my remember. Anyway, so they go on from that, and then I do like how A1 actually did. While I would say the overall art animation is passable at best throughout the whole series, I will say the cinematography later, especially down later half, has been really good. They've been doing some really good stuff. Last week I was talking about how the cinematography was really good with having the text messages be reflected in Makoto and Kira and Morgana's eyes. They do something similar to this where you show off Futaba becoming a shut-in. I would have wished that they actually did show it to us, Futaba from when she was a little kid, when Sojiro decided to take care of her to where she is now. I would have liked to see maybe a little transition of her slightly growing up. I would have liked to see that, but what they do show is pretty good, and I wouldn't be surprised if anyone did this just to save money on art animation. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but hey, I still think what A1 did do was pretty good, where they show off her door. They show it open it up when she's up she would when she would her door open when Sojiro was talking about how it first started off, how it was when she first came that yes she did definitely dealt with depression and of course other than just being traumatized. I mean, what little kid, I mean, how would a little kid react when they just saw their mom die right in front of them? Yeah, so, yeah, and then we see her later on, the door closed, we talks about how she became a shut-in when she started hearing voices in her head. She started hearing voices that, like, mom's gonna kill me, like, mom's gonna kill me, my mom's leaving from, I forget exactly what she said. They show, they say, and then the sign would be rewrapped in, like, caution tape, showing out that, yes, she is indeed a shut-in, and yes, Futaba definitely has worsened over time. And now, I'm no doctor, but I would definitely assume that along with Futaba probably having some form of depression, most likely because of what happened to her mother, I would say she probably also suffers from PTSD from the overall event. I mean, she was a little kid when her mom died, so I wouldn't be surprised the reason she's hearing voices and, saying these kind of things is probably a mixture of, the cognitive world, and a mixture of probably also having some form of PTSD. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so my psychosis, my self-diagnosis could probably be completely off, but I think I'm on the little bit of the right track of saying, like, yes, she does suffer from PTSD. And it's like, man, I'm like, look at the latest videos. I'm already talking about Love Mates. I've just been talking about Bruce like the first 10 minutes. Anyway, so yeah, but hey, like I said, I love Futaba. Her character's very interesting. I just love her backstory. I hope they do a delve into it a little bit more, maybe later on in the series. Because like I said, it does play her role. Her and her mom do play a very pivotal role later on in the series. So after that, that we see they do find out we see them hitting the batting cage a little bit. The art animation here was like there was a certain parts like here and a couple extra parts like when we see Sojiro talking with Sai. He says I don't know anything. That's when the art animation was pretty bad. I mean there was this where the art animation was bad, but I say those were the worst of the episode. And it's not like it's super bad, but I would definitely say and there's one thing I am saying again, I am a little disappointed with this is that the art animation isn't up to par, especially since it's A1, and we know A1 can do some amazing shit. Like I said, just look at Sword Art Online. The art animation in this series is fucking amazing. Hell, even, and there's also Darling and Friends, which they're also working, which I've heard, that shit's kind of gone down to shit. On the last few episodes, I haven't finished Darling and Friends myself, I'm right at the episodes when they get that backstory episode, around the second half. I forget exactly. I forget what episode number was, but yeah, I've heard from then on the series has really gone down quite well. I'll be the judge of that when I see series because people say same thing with SCL and Grand, they were right. I still really enjoy it. They said it's dated for a race, but you all know I still fucking love a race. Anyway, so they end up finding let's see if she does have a palace. They find out she does have a palace, so they go in. It's in a desert, a pyramid, because she says because they visit Futaba's room. That's when they find out that she does indeed have a palace. They ask her hey Futaba, how are you? And she says, and they said we are gonna steal your heart. And she said, and so we actually find out that she says, Mom wants, Mom's, it's my fault. I killed Mom. I gotta say, the voice acting, I do prefer the dub. The voice acting was spectacular in this episode. The Japanese voice actor for Futaba did a phenomenal job. I do think the dub actress was a little bit better in my personal opinion, but I definitely will say the Japanese audio for Persona 5 Futaba is nothing to sneeze at. She says, I killed my mom. I killed her. I want to die. I'm going to die here. This is my tomb. Yeah, it was heartbreaking rewatching that. Because y'all know I love Futaba. Just seeing her origins and how low she was when she was brought back up. But families, it's heartbreaking to watch because y'all know I love Futaba. I wasn't crying or nothing, but I was my heart. It was tugging on my heartstrings a lot this episode because y'all know I love Futaba. She's in my top 10 She's in my top 10 best girls of all time. Anyway, so they show us. So they find. So after they have that little depressing exchange, they find out that she does have a palace, and they go in where it's actually in a desert because tomb. She said this room is my fucking tomb. So of course her would be a pyramid and have very ancient Egyptian theme. So they go in, of course, they're talking as soon as they walk in after a few months, they're ha ta 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 ta, and they're a kid, they're Morgana, transform, which I could certainly, because y'all knew I was living in Bahrain for 2 years. And the weather was fucking horrific. Not only do you gotta deal with the actual, just the heat of you living in a desert, it was humid as fuck. I was hell. I was coughing like a madman. In the last couple months I was there, cause the weather. I do not recommend living in a desert. It's fucking hell on earth. I mean, here in Ridgecrest it's a little bit better, but it's not like it's like you don't gotta deal with humidity. But Bahrain, Jesus fucking Christ, how do people live like that? At least the AC was damn good. I'm like, here, the AC's kind of shit. Anyway, so you know, they once they Morgana transforms, they go to the palace they go to her palace where they go in, and Ryu's like, oh, it's cold. There must have feels like the AC's pumping through. He says like, you know, moral side because you know Futaba's room has probably has the AC pumping through it too. And we also get a little bit of fan service with seeing Makoto and Ann's bras, and see their boobs a little bit, which was like, you know, nice. Always nice to see a little bit of fan service when it's appropriate. And you know, of course, you know, Ryuji's staring, and An's like, no, like cover it up, and then Yusuke's like doing that little like square thing you do with your fingers that like, you know, photographers do sometimes. He's like, So they end up going in, and you know, where we see Futaba, her shadow form, but she said like, you know, oh, to those who plunder my tomb, why are you here? And Ryu's like, you know, we're here to steal your heart. And he's like, try as you might, but you can't. And it's like, and Morgana is like, well, that's right, fine. Then I forgot this line was here, so this was hilarious to rewatch. She's like, maybe she's one of those tsundere types. Oh, that was hilarious to see. Like, yeah, I remember that in the game, and I was just dying laughing with the whole tsundere thing. Anyway, so you know, then she leaves, where we also see here, where we then start hearing the voices that Futaba hears, where you know she's like, no, murderer, die, it's your fault, die, murderer, die, just die. And she's like, no, I want to die. I killed my mom. I have to die more. We got just seeing Futaba and the voice acting was so damn good. Like, oh, this woman deserves a raise. Like, the voice acting in this episode was Futaba. Fucking phenomenal. It definitely, without a doubt, carried the episode. Was Futaba's voice actress. And so, you know, we see her like, you know, she's like covering her head. She's like, you know, oh, help me. I'm like, my heart. Anyway, so we see, Futaba, after she leaves, the fans turn into their normal outfits because they were seeing their normal clothes when they first got in there. Because now that Futaba does see her as a threat. And then we see them kind of just, you know, traversing through to the team board. Before first they have this giant boulder coming at them, and that's when we get to the stuff with the batting cage, and also stuff with Sojiro talking to Sai. Anyway, and so after that we actually see get this one shot, which I can tell this from this one shot alone. This is where all the budget for the animation went, where we see Futaba. It's a shot of Futaba in her chair, and they pan up. And then we see Futaba's mother, and then we have this close up on her eye. And I gotta say, they put a lot of detail in her eye and in her mouth. Like, as we see her mouth move, but we don't hear what she says. She's probably just saying, like, you know, it was your fault, die, or some shit. But I gotta say, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, so that's where the budget went for this episode. Because like I said, the animation episode was fine, but like right there, I was like, okay, now I know where the budget went, you know. And so they go back, they traverse, they find these hieroglyphics, pretty much explaining everything that happened to Futaba in this from how she views the events happen. Like, you know, like they showed off like this these people reading the suicide note from her, saying, you know, oh, you were a pain in the ass, oh, you were such a pain, die, blah 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 blah, it was your fault, blah blah blah, which was heartbreaking to watch. No, I'm not going to say that. That would be a major spoiler. Like I said, I'm going to keep it spoiler free because, like I said, shit goes down in the second half. And like I said, Futaba and her mother are very pivotal to the second half of Persona 5. So we see them. Going towards it. Yeah. So they pretty much just breeze through these. These were actual puzzles in the game, but the anime just kind of breezed through it. So like read the hieroglyphics. They see another one. We see Futaba with another one for Futaba, kind of like, you know, pulling on her mom's like jacket. She's like, no, Mom, I'm tired of always eating here. Come on, let's go out. She's like, you know, how dare you ask for attention? You know I'm working hard to support you, you bitch. She doesn't say that, but that's pretty much what she said. And you know, I was like, it's over, kid, to want attention. Blah 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 blah. They go to the next one. Which actually, that was actually the last one. The actual second one was when they actually showed the event happening when, you know, of course, Futaba's mom did commit suicide and jump in front of that car. But I guess whoever voices the child voice actor, whoever voiced the voice actor for whoever voices Kid Futaba in this episode did a spectacular job. I don't know if it's the same voice actress that voices Futaba, and also voices her kid's version, but whoever did it really did a fantastic job. It really elevated these scenes with actually hearing our kid voice, when she's saying these things, like, Mom, come on, let's go on a trip or something, that's the voice acting overall really elevated that scene, because it got the point across in the gate. But I think that when that whole happened, that was just text. I don't think that was actually voice acted, but the sub actually really elevated that scene. I hope, like I said, I really hope this anime does get a dub, because I would love to hear this with the English audio. So after that, they get pretty much where the boss room is. Where it's still you can't come in. You have to actually have Futaba herself actually invite you into her room. That way you can get into this room and steal her heart. So they get back to her room. They tell her, hey, Futaba, we need you to actually open the door for us and invite us in to actually steal your heart. And actually, before that, we see this little scene where we see Futaba talking to her shadow self, where her shadow self pretty much just tells look, Futaba, if you don't get your ass out of this room, I'm gonna kill the cannon thieves, okay? I'm obviously paraphrasing, but I'll pretty much say, you need to get your ass out of this room and stop hiding from the truth. And, stop, hiding from the truth. And, all that shit. So they actually, first she unlocks the door, she's like, no, Futaba, you have to actually open it for us and invite us in. So she invites us though, she opens the door, they go in, she's still hiding, and then when they're looking around, they're like, shut in till the bitter end. So then she runs out of this closet and be like, here! Come on! Take it! She has her arms out, she's waiting for like this is Temple of Doom, and you guys shove your hand into her chest to grab it out. It was funny to watch. So yeah, that's where the episode ends. Overall, this was a phenomenal episode. The voice acting really carried this. While the art animation was passable at best, the voice acting really, really got this episode going. This carried the episode, in my opinion. So overall, of course, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. Did you guys think I wasn't giving anything lower than a 10 out of 10? It's Best Girl Futaba. Plus, the voice acting really carried this episode. The voice acting in this episode was damn good. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you subscribe if you're new. Follow the channel for your failed digital links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.